Yo, what's going on, guys? And we are here and we are doing the Los Angeles Lakers offseason, what to expect. So, right now, let me hear those thoughts down below. What do you guys expect from the Lakers this offseason? It's going to be a big one. And let's get into it. Okay, so we all know the storylines. Dennis Schroder declined the extension, and we all agree who cares to keep him. And one thing that you guys should know is even with Anthony Davis and LeBron on the court, the Lakers' offense efficiency was 24th. So they're unrestricted free agents, and this is what they are: is Dennis Schroder. This is what they have their cap hit of this past year: 16 million. Andre Drummond had 554,000. Alex Caruso 2.8. Wesley Matthews, Markieff Morris, Ben McLemore, and Jared Dudley are all the unrestricted free agents. The guys that are on options: Montrezl Harrell and Alfonso McKinney are the guys. Harrell has 9.7. McKinney has 1.9. I don't know if they'll keep McKinney. Montrezl Harrell is not staying, and Lou Dang has a $5 million like hit on the book still. The guys that are locked up are KCP with a $13 million deal, Kyle Kuzma with a $13 million deal, and Marc Gasol with 2.7. And look, KCP could be moved, but the one that is definitely being moved is Kyle Kuzma. That's been floating around everywhere, and potentially people who they can go. Obviously, we all want to go for the big fish, and that would be Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards, where they would package maybe KCP, Kyle Kuzma, and if Alfonso McKinney picks up there, they would have to do maybe a few things, and maybe they also do a sign and trade. I've read that Dennis Schroder is leaving, but one thing they could do is a Gordon Hayward type situation where they create like a 20 or 30 million dollar trade exception by sign and trading him, and all they have to do is throw a two or one or two second round picks in there, and that usually greases the wheels enough. So expect maybe a sign and trade of Dennis Schroder, and maybe to get some assets back, and could be some role players that could be beneficial. And then besides that, then they have a trade exception to move with KCP, Kuzma for a big star, which obviously we want Bradley Beal, but that isn't realistic. Let's be realistic, okay? And what obviously he's under contract for 37 millions. You probably have to piece together a sign and trade of Kuzma, KCP, maybe even Taylor Horn Tucker and Schroeder. I don't know if they would take that, but obviously those are things you would have to consider. And then you also have there's ideas such as, I think, could they get Chris Paul away from the Phoenix Suns? I think Chris Paul is going to stay, unless like they lose in the Western Conference Finals. I don't know. I would love finally Banana Boat Gang, Chris Paul and Carmelo go to the Lakers. I don't know if that's what they need, but that'd be awesome. Chris Paul is fine. I don't know if they need Carmelo. Carmelo's great, okay, but would he still be able to be beneficial in the role where they need defensive guys? Tell me what you guys think down below right now. So I don't even think we should address if they're even going to draft somebody, because if they did draft someone, it would be like a center, and I would love them to get like Nemes Kieta, who's awesome. Andre Drummond's not staying. They're going to try to go back to the bargain bin and like, you know what I mean? Just figure it out, like who should be their guy. Okay? We can all agree that if they could get DeMar DeRozan, that'd be more than ideal, okay? He'd be the perfect guy. And I mean, Chris Paul absolutely too, but DeMar DeRozan, he could potentially cost the mid-level exception if some like at most expensive. I don't know if you guys hear somebody's like weed whacking or some shit in my backyard. It's like pretty outrageous what's going on right here. But another thing that if we want to look at is the contracts that they're gonna have to give out. So Alex Caruso is gonna probably get 10 to 12 per year, as he's one of the top reserves on a big market contender. So, and he seems like he could seamlessly fit along many teams. And like I already mentioned, Dennis Schroeder is probably going to get that bird right trap. The Taylor Horn Tucker situation, because he's in the Gilbert Arenas provision on his like bird rights. So basically, he's eligible for a max, I think, of roughly 82 million. So there could be a team that might take the chance. Harrell has money on the table to join left money on the table to join the Lakers. I don't think he's going to let that happen again. I think he's going to go to Charlotte. Markieff Morris is the lesser twin, and he's not worth that much. So I think maybe they bring him back on a Ben Min. And I don't know if Ben McLemore or Wesley Matthews, if you bring them back both on ven mids, that like veteran mins, that's awesome. Andre Drummond, same thing on a veteran min, that'd be fine. Those guys could be the bottom feeders of the roster. That's not your main guy off the bench. I mean, Caruso's one of them. Sadly, Kyle Kuzma's one. But the assets they have to trade are KCP, who was really good during the finals run, and he didn't have the greatest year this year. So KCP and Kyle Kuzma, I think keep Gasol and bring in two other completely different centers, more like, of the vein of Dwight Howard and stuff. So that's something you could do. Keep Gasol and have two guys who are energetic, guys who can jump and like block shots. We could obviously think that like they have the 22nd pick. I don't think they're going to bring anyone. Isaiah Jackson's a guy, but I don't think they're bring anyone. They would want to be a really good center. Another guy is Derrick Rose. Would Derrick Rose want to leave Tom Thibodeau? Victor Oladipo? Are those even guys they want to bring in? Goran Dragic? Is there people they should look at? Blake Griffin. I want to hear your thoughts. Like, DeMar DeRozan's another person that they could bring in. Like, if we go through this, okay, like, first off, Victor Oladipo, if they can get him under $5 million on a mid-level exception, that's awesome. Same thing with Derrick Rose, worth it. Blake Griffin, I wouldn't pay more than $3 or $4 million, $5 million. Goran Dragic, veteran minimum, same thing. Those are guys that you want to be filling out the bench. DeMar DeRozan is a guy that I'd be willing to pay maybe 15 at most, 10. I don't even know if he's going to get that. I don't even know what he has. DeMar DeRozan, how much money is he going to get, And I would love to bring those players in. Those are fantastic players, so we don't know how much DeMar is going to be going for. Jeff Teague was kind of ass before on the Celtics. On the Bucks, he got better. I wouldn't go for Jeff Teague, And if we keep looking around, what else could they look? They need to get a third star. There's CJ McCollum, because they're not going to trade Damian Lillard, so maybe KCP and Kyle Kuzma could be enough. Throw in a pick. You could also eye Buddy Hield, who would be fantastic for this team. So would Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Covington. If they did CJ McCollum and Robert Covington, that's great. Those guys would easily complement them. And everybody except for Buddy Hield is basically a good defender. And I would rather them get Brogdon or Covington. Covington and CJ McCollum would be awesome. They should keep Alex Caruso and Taylor Horton-Tucker. I think that's a must. You can let Kuzma and KCP package in a deal. That's what I would do. But yeah, like, the toughest decisions, I think, are the areas need is they're strangely in need of, shooting, and they could use more shot creation because they need someone. Like a guy like Kyle Lowry, Chris Paul, like how much is that going to cost? It'd be cool. JJ Redick, if he's healthy, that's awesome. Kelly Olynyk, maybe, yeah, if he's cheap enough, yes. Patty Mills is probably going to stay with the Spurs. So, Otto Porter Jr. misses a lot of time with injury, but when he's on the floor, he could be a solid 3-and-D guy, especially when he's not blanking out and being on Shaq and a Fool. Is that even a thing anymore, Shaq and a Fool? I completely forget if that's a thing. But that's basically it for me today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think is going to basically happen? I think it's about to be a shit show almost. So let me hear your thoughts. That's it for me. I'm going to go make a TikTok or some shit. I don't know. Peace out.